killed in a horrific crash along Highway 290, and police say the only person to survive that accident was the person who was to blame. ABC 13 reporter Courtney Fisher has been working this story since the beginning. She is here now with an update. Courtney?
Hey, Melanie, a man and a woman died in this crash because a driver ran a red light. That's what police say. At this point, the driver has not been charged. I just checked in with the DA's office. I've also been talking with the mother of the man killed, so a lot more to this story. This is the man killed, Adam Phillips, 25 years old. He was a chef at a restaurant in City Center. Adam was just starting to make a name for himself in the food industry, which we know is such a tight-knit group of people. His sudden death has really shaken a lot of those in the business. Adam's mother tells me that they're going to celebrate Adam's life this Sunday at Brass Brewery in the Heights, and it's open to everyone. Adam was killed last Thursday while on his way home from a late-night shift at the restaurant. Police say that he was approaching the Hollister intersection, driving on Hollister along the Northwest Freeway, when the pickup ran that red light on the feeder and slammed into Adam's Honda Civic. The man who saw the crash told me that Adam's car rolled several times. Adam's mom says that Adam was just a couple blocks from home. He could literally see his apartment when he was killed. The other woman who died was a new mom, 23-year-old Cindy Vasquez. She was the passenger in the pickup, and her family tells me that it was her husband who was driving. He survived, as you mentioned, Melanie, was not hurt. We'll keep you posted on whether or not he faces any charges. Mel?
You know what, and that's the part that really surprises me, Courtney, is that he has not been charged with anything yet. Did the DA's office say why?
Yeah, you know, it's something they say they're looking into. A lot of the spokespeople with the DA's office are actually with where Charlie was on the Alvarez case, so a lot of public information officers couldn't get back to me. They're going to look at the case because that was my first question. The driver who ran that red light, police say he admitted to it. They believe he was speeding, so we'll see what happens with the investigation.
All right, certainly something I know you'll continue to follow. Thank you so much, Courtney.
All right, guys. Hey, guys. Welcome to Only on Mondays with Kelly and
Lynn.
So, guys, that was just... Fail.
They weren't done, bro.
They weren't done. They'll never be done. Okay, so, guys, what you just saw was basically a clip of an accident and a story we'll be discussing today on our podcast about something that we actually witnessed. When was this? When did this happen?
I said a Thursday. I don't remember.
It was like last Thursday, right? Just about a week ago. And so we were sitting at a red light and we basically saw this happen. Well, Lynn saw it. I didn't really even see it. I mean, you kind of saw it out the corner of your eye, right?
Yeah, the man went flying, like they said, went past the red light.
Yes.
Flew, and I have no idea where the other car was at, honestly. Did not even see the car flip or anything. But I saw the man run the red light and saw...
You said you saw lights. Yeah, like you saw all the lights and stuff from that.
Like all the kind of metal pieces on the ground, all the bright orange and stuff.
Right. So, yeah, so we immediately pulled over and stopped to help. And it was kind of a traumatizing event for both of us. I mean, I know that, just the thought, just to put yourselves in our shoes, like we saw like two deaths right in front of us, and it was very, just
somewhat traumatic.
It was very traumatic.
And to be a bystander, a person who couldn't even do anything to stand there, honestly.
Right.
You called in the accident, but
yeah, I called 911. Lynn was trying to help get the guy, which this is our first time seeing that guy's face too. Have you seen him before?
No, that was very weird.
It was
to put a face to a body that I couldn't help.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it was just somebody that we felt almost like connected to that night because we were trying to help this person who was beyond help that night. And it's kind of jarring. I don't even really know what to say because when I seen his face pop up, this is our first time both of us seeing his face. We just were able to see his like mangled body pretty much, which sounds awful, but it's what we saw that night in the car.
Right.
And so, it's just kind of bringing reality to what the situation really was. It's like a soft reality. So, just to kind of let you guys see that was something that we both witnessed, and it kind of brings us into the topic of the day, which is accidental deaths.
Right. So, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Basically, what we want to talk about is how this man still hasn't been charged yet, and the death, I feel like, was an accident. He did
For
run
sure.
a red light, so that is it. He is at fault, which I understand.
And he
why
killed his
should-
wife.
Right. He should be charged, but I feel like the question everybody is asking is why hasn't he been charged yet? And I
Right.
feel like it's because these are very touchy subjects.
And I know you were saying earlier to me about how, you know, how do you guys feel, and like how does the general public feel about how people are charged when it comes to accidental deaths? Because this man took his wife and someone else's life, so he
Right.
is going to be suffering for the rest of his life, knowing that.
Knowing that he took two people's life over something very simple that
Stupid.
he could have avoided. Right,
Exactly.
right.
Like, you're speeding, dude. Like,
And he was speeding. He was flying. Honestly, he was going.
Right. so you have to know you're doing something stupid at that time, but are you? How negligible should you be held?
Right.
Like, how much, I guess, like, how do we apply the law to somebody who did something purely out of an accident and purely, like, not on purpose, but he did something so reckless that it's almost like this man has to be charged. I mean, even at the scene.
Regardless of what happened, he has to be charged for taking two deaths of people who did not deserve it.
They did not
Yeah,
deserve it.
Right.
And he walked away from that accident. Literally walked away. I mean, we were there.
No, that the guy in the chef, I don't know his name, but
Yeah.
he died instantly, dude, because we were right there,
Right.
and we were first on that scene, and not first on the scene, but yeah.
We really were.
basically,
We
yeah.
were the first people to. I mean, there was another guy. There was a few other guys there that were helping us.
They
Like, they
ran up
opened up
at
the
it,
car door.
yeah.
But you were there. You were right there. I was right there. We literally saw this man as they opened up the car door, and
no, he was not moving.
yeah.
Not moving.
I mean, I just knew immediately when they opened the car door what it was. And I mean, even on the scene, we knew that this man had killed, or we knew that his wife had been ejected because he was screaming.
He ran up to us. Again, fresh
Yeah.
on the scene, ran up to us and said, "Hey, my wife she flew out the window." Like,
And he didn't know where she
It's truly
was.
traumatizing to go around and look for a body that you can't find.
Of your wife.
Right, and didn't even see the other guy in the car who died.
Right.
Like, that's So,
Right.
And how do you charge this guy, honestly? Because I know I wouldn't say that he didn't mean it. You never know. But
I'm sure he didn't-
I'm sure he did not mean it.
Yeah.
To do this, but
He was
he
reckless.
very reckless, and he had to be charged for being reckless. You know.
Yeah.
And it's sad that neither the people, the woman and the other guy, did not have their seatbelt on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's another thing, y'all, is that, like,
Please wear your seatbelt.
so wear your seatbelts. And it's crazy because I've been recently of the mindset, you know, basically just like revolting against everything. Like, oh, the government basically took away our rights, and they started with seatbelt laws, making us wear our seatbelts, you know, just kind of like bucking the system. But that's childish, and seatbelts really are there for your protection. No, you don't have
Really,
to wear
that
it.
really taught me that because
Yes.
I used to be a person like, fuck it, if I fly out the window, I fly out the window. I don't give a fuck because I was very reckless with my life. Honestly.
Right.
And so to see that and to watch a man's life be taken in a matter of 5 fucking seconds was
Literally.
truly traumatizing to me, and to wear my fucking seatbelt
Y'all,
and to take my life
seriously.
seriously, honestly.
Because to know he
And
was
to not
driving
be
home.
reckless, right.
Yeah.
To not run no red lights, to wear your seatbelt, yeah.
Because just, I mean, so suddenly can your life be over.
So what do you feel like he should have been charged? Like,
I mean-
it's undecided. So what do you feel like he should? What
Yeah.
do you feel like it should be?
It's wild that he hasn't been charged yet, honestly. I feel like there was enough evidence to charge him on the scene for reckless
The fact
homicide.
that he came up to me, bro. Again, first on the scene. The fact that he
Yes.
came up to me and was like, "Hey, I ran this red light. My wife flew out the window. Like, I
Yeah.
can't find my wife." You know, screaming in panic and like.
Right.
He's
I
in
saw that
panic,
man's
yeah.
face. Yeah.
So like he admitted to that. You should be charged right there and then to admit to it. But how should he be charged? I feel like that's what they're prolonging it for.
Yeah.
They don't
Trying
know
to
how
decide
make that
which
decision.
charge.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's so many factors that go involved with it. But at the end of the day, dude, you took an innocent man's life. I mean, yes, his wife was innocent as well. But,
I
like,
wanna
to
say-
me, this man, like, was doing nothing wrong. And it's like, you have to pay for that. Like,
I feel like 5 years. I feel
5
like
years?
5 to 10 years is risk.
with, like,
It's
probation
too-
afterwards. See, I don't even understand the point of putting people like that on probation. Because that's, like, a one-time offense, like a one-off. You know, it's not like this man's a violent criminal. You know,
right.
like...
I don't feel like that should be based off of your past, though. Like, it depending.
Well,
if maybe if it
If
was
he
like,
has a record now, I feel
if
like...
he has a record for speeding and running lights, then I would understand. Yeah, then you should get more time. But
Right.
like, if you just kind of like it happened and you're being reckless, you should at least get 5 years. You
Definitely
took 2
5 years,
lives,
at least,
and
yeah.
that's 5 years of your life. That's like, a little percentage. And it's not to where you're taking so much of your life because you're suffering mentally because of what you did too. And I hope that
for the rest of your life.
honestly.
And not only that, his 9-month-old kid. So I don't know if they said that in the video.
Right.
I don't remember them saying
you
it,
also
but
have a family to go back to. I feel
there's
like
a
and
9-month-old.
They should not take so much of your life. And that's why
Right.
these situations are complicated to judge.
It is. It's really hard to say. And I mean, I know that he's going to be tearing himself up because he has a child with this woman who he killed ultimately through his actions, and now he's going to have to go to jail. I feel like there's no way they can't charge him. If they did not charge him, I would be shocked, honestly. And I would feel some sort of like
I would be
outrage,
angry, honestly, because
that's not right.
Right. You know right from wrong, and regardless of what you were doing, dude, you were speeding. Like
You have to pay for that, right?
You have to pay for what you did wrong, and I understand that what you went through was not, I guess, was kind of traumatic, but you chose to run this red light, and it is what it is.
Okay, so how would we feel if he had only killed his wife? Like, let's say there's no other car involved. Like, and it was just so you have to deal with, like, the consequences, you losing your wife and knowing that you did it at your hands.
I would still say...
You'd still say jail?
I'd still say 5 years because I don't feel like... for me, it's more like... crime should be based off of how many years you get, you feel me? And that's kind of bad to say. I feel like saying it out loud, I might not believe it as much because it depends on your actions and why you took these actions to do things, you feel me?
Yeah.
And for me, he was being reckless regardless, and you should pay for your recklessness.
Right.
And if you take a life, you gotta pay for that life.
Even
she
if
lost her life forever.
She did, yeah,
forever.
she did, and he can move on,
Right.
like
at least 5 years.
At the instance,
like
dude, like at one instance, they were literally all driving in front of us, and in 1 second, it was all over.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It was
wild.
real quick, and that's really shocks me.
Yeah. So I think we have another article about this. This article basically, like, we watched the video with you guys in the beginning, but it was basically just describing what they were talking about in the video. So we do have another article, I think, that says, or it speaks on the wrongful death overview. Basically, this is more like getting into the nitty-gritty of the legal system.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people get charged wrongfully, even not car accidents, and stuff like that, but like.
When it comes to accidental deaths or whatever?
Yeah,
like, let's see. I'm trying to think of another situation that, like, happened.
I feel like guns going off on people, accidental playing
That's
with
a good
guns
one.
and stuff, yeah.
So you don't think those people should be charged?
I know, I feel like they should for playing with a gun again.
Well, because that's irresponsible gun usage. If you have kids around your unsecured firearms, like, that should be on you. You should go to... I mean, guns are no joke. So I'm very passionate about, like... That's a good example because that is a wrongful death, like, or it's an accidental death type situation. Yeah. But I'm fully of the view that if you let a child, especially a child, or somebody who doesn't know how to use the gun...
They're around and you know that there are kids around there.
Yeah.
You know they're going to play with it. They see you with a gun, they might be...
It's another thing. What about, like, a school shooter who, like, accesses or, like, steals his parent gun? Like, the parent has the gun secure up somewhere, but, like, a school shooter who's of like sound mind, like...
I feel like the parents are going to suffer enough knowing that they couldn't help their child mentally because whatever the fuck they're doing is
so
not
that
right.
You don't think they should be charged?
I don't feel like the parents should be charged, but that child should be charged.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Excuse me, y'all. This child should be charged, but also offered help. Because I feel like a lot of stuff that happens like that, they're like, oh, okay, this child shot up the fucking school, go lock him up. He knew what he was doing, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Why did this kid shoot up the school? And then a lot of times it comes down to, oh, he was bullying.
That's almost, we gotta look at the parents, dude. Like, we have to, because there's some piece of shit parents out there right now, dude. Like, honestly, that is true. Mm-hmm. And it kind of more inclines me to, it does kind of fall back on the parents. If they were found to be, like, not giving their kid help if they showed signs of needing help, I don't know. It's such a touchy situation because everybody is different, and it's like you cannot apply one legal standard. I feel like to just any old situation. There's so many nuances, and then like
I feel like a school shooting should have at least 10 to 15 years.
Oh, you should go if you kill somebody. I believe in life sentences or death penalty. I do. Killing somebody, that's.
For me, the death penalty is too easy in a way. Like, I don't feel like it's too easy, but it's like a way out for some people. Yeah.
I don't think killers should be let out ever, though. If you kill somebody, you can kill somebody again. And you will.
Yeah.
To
I
me,
feel
in my
like,
mind.
to a certain extent, there's like, if you have a serial killer, then yeah, we gotta kill that guy. So,
What about a one-time
sorry.
killer, though? Like,
No.
somebody kills their wife, you know, like,
What
that
drove
person
you
deserves
to-
life.
What drove you to kill that person, honestly?
don't
Again, there's
know.
mental situations to
But,
it, you know?
so, then what if we just put them in a mental hospital? Because Andrea Yates is a good example. I don't know if you know about that case.
I do not.
So that's a really interesting case. So Andrea Yates killed all 4 of her kids, but she was legit mental. Like, and she's to this day still in a mental institution.
Okay, I gotta look into that because I want
It's
to
a
know
very
what drove
interesting
her
case.
crazy and.
She had major mental
so
issues.
I feel like, but then again, mental hospitals aren't always okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to like look it up.
We're flowing into different subjects.
Yeah, that's a whole. That's like murder, like what's it called, matricide or whatever, patricide.
But again, it's like, how do you charge things like this? Things that you can't.
Accidental things or like a kid that drowns in your swimming pool. Like that's another good example. Like, okay, so is that person responsible? A lot of times they're held civilly responsible, like they're sued or whatever, but not
I feel like
always are they charged.
You gotta watch out how the parents' reactions were. Were they being very reckless with their kids and
Right.
not watching them?
Yeah.
Or was it really accidental and like the kid fell in the fucking pool and couldn't get out?
Yeah.
Like,
It's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Because even if they don't get charged criminally, a lot of times.
You're suffering with that mentally, regardless
Yes.
if it was accidental or not. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Especially if it was accidental, I feel like then it even fucks you up even more, you know?
Yeah. So
Because you don't have that on your mind, you
I
know?
feel like maybe like
Yeah.
I don't even know because that's why I would not be a judge or a lawyer because
But-
I wouldn't know how to. I
and
would
see-
try and give everybody.
You be fair.
And you can't always be fair in these situations because a lot of people, you can't read a lot of people. They're very
Right.
manipulating. Right?
That's why you gotta look at their past, you know, you look at their record or whatever. And then I think in this circumstance, like they're the ones that we just discussed, like the swimming pool or like the first one that you said, like it all like those are all like truly accidental, more so than like him running that red light was reckless. It'd be almost like if a mother puts her child in danger by like setting him too close to a ledge, you know, to take a picture. That's reckless. Like you're doing something that you know could result in harm.
Yeah.
So that's where I think it draw the line when it comes to jail time. Like if you do something, like if something happens at your house, like a kid drowns in your pool because X, Y, or Z, to me that's not you doing something reckless. You know, like
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
you know, it just kind of happened to you accidentally, horribly on your property because of like you having a pool. But there's also other factors. Why was the kid there?
What were you doing?
What were you
and
doing?
Why weren't you watching your kid? That's where I feel
Right.
like where you should get charged or not. Were you like home drunk? Did you not know? Did
Yeah.
you not care that your child was in a bad swimming, knowing he couldn't swim?
Exactly.
Or whatever, like,
Yes. Right.
And why weren't you keeping an eye on your kid? Like, what were you doing at that moment? Like, if
Yeah.
you were cooking, I could understand.
Yeah.
If you're doing other dumb shit, then you know.
Exactly. So yeah, so homeboy, like, if it had been like a situation where he was running the light because like,
You want to scroll this so they can read it? Like,
oh yeah, so we can read it out loud too. So it just basically talking a lot about, I think it gets into like the actual law, but okay, so here they talk about O.J. Simpson, for example. Former O.J. football star and actor O.J. Simpson was found not guilty of murder in 1994 because the prosecution was unable to establish his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. But he was found liable for the wrongful death of the 2 victims of his civil trial because the plaintiffs were able to prove he was responsible by a preponderance of the evidence. So
what did he do?
So this was whenever he was accused of killing his wife and the dude and her lover.
Okay, hold up, wait.
So this is O.J. Simpson.
A thing?
O.J. Simpson?
Yeah, I'm
You didn't
sorry,
know?
no.
Okay, so guys,
I'm
so
a
Lynn
child.
is how old? How old are you?
I'm 20.
She's 20. Okay, so guys,
And
so
I'm not
I'm
an internet person, honestly. But
What?
like,
You're-
I'm not an internet celebrity person.
No, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a normal Zoomer, I feel like. You're a normal, typical Zoomer. And I'm 34, so there's an age gap here. So Lynn doesn't know O.J. Simpson. Okay, so this hopefully will both draw, like, kind of like an audience like your age and my age, though, too.
Yeah,
like, I
a
really
big
hope
gap.
to, like, I really want to interact with, like, people of all different points of views, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, know what they think, they know what we think, blah, 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 versus, you know, like, all that, so. But yeah, so O.J. Simpson basically
Man,
is
you're
this
making me
famous.
feel like kind of like out of there for not knowing O.J. Simpson.
No.
I mean, I heard of him and
That's
I've heard of
good.
like murder and shit, but like never been into it, then like deep into it. You feel me? Like,
Yeah, and you don't watch kind of like that happened like in 1994. This
wait,
is
can
before
you
you
go
were
back up?
born.
I didn't read it honestly.
About O.J. Simpson?
None of that. The paragraph. Sorry, y'all.
Oh.
You're going up and down. There you go.
So let's see. The first paragraph, when a person dies or is killed due to the negligence or misconduct of another, including murder, the surviving members of the victim's family may sue for wrongful death. Okay, so this is talking more about wrongful death
Okay.
instead of accidental death. So
Yeah. Okay. I get this. I get what you're saying.
yeah, because that's the thing. Even if you don't get charged in the criminal court, somebody can sue you in civil court, and basically find you guilty. So like, say this man from this accident that we just witnessed never got charged. That guy, Adam or whatever, the guy that was in the small car,
His mom could come out and sue because
Yes.
she felt like
he was
still
responsible.
killed them,
Right,
Okay, that
exactly.
makes sense,
And she
yeah.
would win. I mean, to my mind, she would win, you know?
Right, because she did in a way.
Right. So that's kind of like what this talks about. So basically, it's a recourse for if you don't get charged, or if there is no charge. You know, that's the thing with accidental deaths, is that you might still get found liable for it if you get the right judge or whatever, the right case. It just all depends. There's
You
so
know what
many.
makes me feel out of there is because, like, I'm sorry, I'm going back to the man's death. What makes me think is, like, what if he was flying already? Because he was speeding, and he felt like maybe the light had just turned red.
Yeah.
And he felt like he didn't need to stop, and that's when the other guy decided to go. Like,
I'm sure that's what it was.
Moment actions, I do that. I don't even drive. People I drive with
Yeah.
do that all the time, and it's like it's something so small
Yeah.
that can make a difference. Honestly, like
It can.
even that like
But
change of the light, like
It had to have been read for a hot ass minute though, because
yeah.
I find it hard to believe that like they wouldn't have seen each other. Like he either like the guy in the small car wouldn't have seen him flying and not
What
stopping.
happened when he was just either going and did not pay attention, or
Yeah.
he admitted to
knows?
running the red light, so he knew.
Or maybe
ran
he
the
just
red.
wasn't even paying. Like he wasn't even looking at the road. Like he was looking down, and just ran a red light. You know, and maybe she screamed. I don't, dude. Who knows? At the last minute, she might be like, "It's red." You know, like she
Right.
noticed or what? Who knows? You know.
It's out of him.
It's so wild that we witnessed that. Like I still cannot believe it. So, anyway, so, huh?
Want to bring that man flowers?
I do. We should bring him something. Like go to the spot because it was just I felt connected to him that night. Like I really did.
I'm upset
It was weird.
that he doesn't have anything. It makes me feel like
Yeah.
that is like I don't know. It makes me kind of upset.
Right. Yep. So, okay, so it says here, just to kind of wrap this up, but in order to bring a successful wrongful death cause of action, the following elements must be present. The death of a human being, that death caused by another's negligence or with intent to cause harm, the survival of family members who are suffering monetary injury as a result of the death, and the appointment of a personal representative for the decedent's estate. So I feel like it totally has a case, yeah. And civilly, you know.
I mean, that could, if she wanted to, she could, even if he did not get sued, and she should if he did not.
I think so
Because-
too. Yeah. So this just goes on to kind of like get more in depth into it, but I think we can stop from there. And then, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I definitely think that man deserves jail time in that situation. I think each situation is nuanced, and you can make a
You have wind chimes?
ideal.
All right.
You know, but yeah, I think you can make a case for it either way. It just depends on the circumstance.
I just feel like he's gonna suffer mentally overall, and that's why he shouldn't get so much jail time. Because there's cases where they throw like something so small, they give you like 20, 25 years. You feel me? Like
Yeah, and that's
bullshit.
That's
like,
rough because the baby. You know, I feel like it's their baby. I think that like anything more than 10 years.
Situation, more like drug cases sometimes, and other cases, and I don't feel like that's right. you know?
Yeah, just all depends. I mean, like on their background or what they did, it should be treated, you know, as such. And I think that's how they try to. But listen, we're gonna get to a whole other topic if we want to talk about how crooked the fucking system is. Yeah. So I mean, I think we can just leave it at that. But I guess let us know what you guys think. Please comment and.
Yeah. What do you think he should be
Right?
charged? Honestly,
Yeah.
not him, but just like wrongful deaths in general. Like
Should that be a thing? Like, you know,
I feel like it should, like...
I think so too.
What
Is that you?
No, that is not me. That is something back there, so I'm gonna just ignore that, alright?
Oh, was that I think there might have been a thing on my door. When the wind blows, it like knocks on my door. Hopefully nothing else fell. Anyways, alright guys. But yeah, let us know what y'all think down below.
We'll come back, maybe not.